Whitechapel, kin, I will find you. Yeah, Phil's, he's had it rough. For sure, for sure. He shouted me out on his personal Instagram, which I thought was weird. I was like, why is he watching my videos? He's very down to earth. It makes you cream? This is about the loss of his parents, and you say it makes you cream? Kinda sus. I will say the album art has grown on me. The mosaic style is very nice. Nah, bro, you did a self-report. I wonder, it's probably very important that it's opening with a very determined sound. Almost hopeful. Well, the Valley wasn't just dealing with parents. The Valley was like dealing with like his abuse as a child between his stepfather and being raised by his mother. And for my suspicions for this is that this delves into his dynamics growing up without parents, or at least I don't know when he lost his mother, but I know his father was at a younger age. You know, man, paraphrase these nuts. Fair. Yeah, I don't really know the timeline of when he lost his parents. Yeah, no, I feel like this latest direction with the cleans, especially starting with the Valley, they're so good. I love them. It's like, where has this been for the rest of Whitechapel's career? Yeah, this makes them. They stand out so much from the rest of the deathcore scene just because of this like recent change with the Valley. Agreed, it's very dynamic. Oh, that's cool. I like the song. It has some of their like old school sound, but it's my least favorite of the three I'd heard before. There's almost too much contrast. I do like that connection between albums there. That's really cool. Yeah, once we finish Arspire, we're doing recommendations. Well, not the whole album, but some first fragment. Do you like this dissonance? Yeah, interestingly, I think my issue with some of the parts of the song is actually the old school part versus the newer parts. I really do like the newer parts. Dude, Rocksmith? Dude, for some reason I can't do Guitar Hero or any of that shit. I can play an actual guitar. It doesn't translate. I don't know, maybe it's been a while. Maybe I could try. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It would be bad. Very bad. Oh, really? I didn't know that. This part I was a big fan of. I'm gonna start being a TikTok guitarist. I found out if I just post guitar clips on TikTok, they do really well. Better than me trying to be funny. So I'm like, shit, this is how I gotta be. Sorry, I'm gonna have to make very awkward eye contact with the camera and just play the most basic chords. They do have a very dynamic sound that's really just sort of exploring, like, there's some bluesy elements in some of their soloing, some of the riffing. It's like really cool. This song I wasn't able to break down the lyrical interpretation, or I wasn't able to interpret the lyrics as well as the other ones. The other ones were kind of self-explanatory between the lyrics of a Bloodsoaked Symphony and just the other song called Orphan. Boy is lost. That is the summary. Yeah, no. What I don't understand about how TikTok and Instagram guitarists, they always, like, I feel like they headbang too much. They're always like the drummers doing like this shit, playing like We Will Rock You on their like fucking kit. I don't get it. It feels just a little extra. I'm like, you aren't feeling the music that much. It's not that good of a song. That's bullshit. This one's one of my favorite ones. I did like Orphan a lot, but Bloodsoaked Symphony is right up my alley. What up, Primus Poo? I think what's really nice about this, it's like kind of chuggy, but then Phil's really filling in the gaps with his vocals. He has very fluid vocals here. I think a lot of you know, songs like the vocalist will generally like sort of follow the guitar. So if the guitar is playing kind of more staccato type rhythms, then the vocals also be kind of chunky. It's like but. But here Phil is singing through it, and it really ties it all together. Also, chorus goes fucking hard. How we doing? Anyone here hear the whole album yet? Dude, that fucking chorus, man. Is it Whitechapel? Unsure. They do construct their ambience just using like a lot of reverb on a guitar. You can really do a lot with that. Also, let's talk about Rudy on the cymbals. He's so good. He's so fucking good. Oh, you're missing out, man. Whitechapel's fucking great. But it's not just chunk. It's sophisticated. Yeah, so here we just have some tremolo picking just in the back for ambience, and it works so perfectly. I think if I turn it up, I'm going to lose hearing, but I also want to turn it up. Yeah, so that's my favorite song I've heard so far out of the 4 I have heard. But now Anticure, this is the second new song we've heard, or we are hearing. Sounds like shoegaze. Sounds like a little bit like nothing right now. That's funny. No, the progression changed. It's lost now. We got some Doc Rock. I like that. I kind of grew up on a lot of like indie and rock music, along with Korn and some new metal acts. So there's a bit of nostalgia here, and especially it's especially cool how it's combining it with some of my old music taste with this new music taste that I've like recently come across. It's like nostalgia and novelty all at once. Which is hard. It's hard to do that. I remember Seven Dust. Ooh. Kind of a little bit shoegazy. A little bit of Rings of Saturn, Distant, Angel Maker. Actually, Whitechapel's The Valley was a very important player in me getting into deathcore. Who else? Infinite Annihilator. Yeah, no, I think The Valley by Whitechapel is probably the perfect gateway for me to get into deathcore. I wonder when he realizes, like, oh shit, I can do clean vocals. Like, I'm just imagining him doing, like, there's all these death metal growls, and, like, one day he just, like, forgets. And he's like, ah! He just sings. He hits, like, a really nice note. He's like, oh shit. It's like, on God, what? Yeah, this is super nostalgic. It's almost like something I would have heard on the radio as a kid. I like that progression. Ooh. Dude, that bass is chunky. Hence its audibility. Controlled chaos right here. So far, I think this is the song that's blended their binary sounds together the best. So like the clean side and the heavy, it feels like it's working together perfectly here. Yeah, dude, 2000s alt rock is back because of Whitechapel. Wait, who's doing backing vocals? Does anyone know? Anyone know? God fucking damn, man. The ones that made us. This sounds evil already. Why does it sound so evil? I love this fill. And then the ambience in the back too. Got some sort of like phaser sound. Dude, I'm loving the layering. He said the valley. Anyways. Dude, the tempo change on the kicks. Love that. It's just pure chunk. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is crazy. I love it. Dude, the simplest riffs just becomes so much better once you get ambience. And you have a really fucking good riff like this already, throwing some ambience, it becomes god tier. What I love too is ambience like this is also really easy to make on your own. You just need a guitar and just like a virtual amp simulator. Ooh. Just throw some reverb on that and you got your backing. Again, super impressed with Phil's flow. His timing between the notes is just impeccable. It works so well. This one's up there. I like a Bloodsoaked Symphony, but this one, I don't know, man. This one might take it. Yeah, no way I thought it would end there. They're waiting. I like that one a lot. That was really chunky, but it still had the ambience and like these really like cool new elements that Whitechapel has sort of found. Black Bear, very different from Black Otter. Fun fact.
The noise of a memory will fade, and the silence of history will stay.
They really just have like sort of every genre that uses a guitar and a drums is encapsulated within this album. I be spitting facts. What if it just turned into a pop song right here? Just throws away the whole theme and just becomes a generic love song. People would shit themselves. Hard. It did not turn into a pop song. Diego Molina 98. Thank you for following. They built up to this really well. I think it would help Deathcore make the mainstream if Ed Sheeran was a guest on one of these tracks. That'd be so funny. don't think it would go mainstream. It would be shown to the mainstream. I don't know if they'd come back. Actually, no. Whitechapel would be a good one to show people. Based. Fucking Mega Mind that shit. Well, I do think Whitechapel with their the Valley era and also with the Kin cycle, I think people would eat this up. Rings of Saturn is also surprisingly good too. Buried Alive. I find that people don't like chugs that much. Beautiful. I've only heard one song from Bola. But it's funny, before like they released the Valley in 2019, I wouldn't have said Whitechapel as like a gateway band into deathcore, absolutely not. But now it makes so much sense. Yeah, just throwing in an acoustic, why not? Some harmonics. It's such a diverse experience. Also based. Oh, powering down. Next is To the Wolf. Sounds like Wolf. Why does it sound a little black metal? Bill Bozeman is wearing corpse paint right now. Sabrina Succubine, thank you for following. I think almost everyone is. It's tough to grow on Twitch. But thank you for pulling up, coming through, coming over. This is fucking black metal. That's crazy, bro. This album has every genre. And then just back to the chunk. I'm loving it. Dude, I want to see Phil and Luca collaborate on something. The song so far is like what Black and Deathcore like should sound like, or what you would think it would sound like. plus a few other drummers. Yeah, he was a guest on the new Shadow 10. Was that his first? I will say, I didn't like the album art at first, but it's grown on me. I still do think it would look better. Black metal again. I think it looked better if it didn't say Kin or Whitechapel and it's just the image. Or the placement of Kin and Whitechapel was a little bit better, maybe more centered. It just feels like there's a lot of empty space. But maybe that's symbolic of Phil not being there. That's crazy. How's that his first feature? Dude, what a fucking listening experience. How would that be his first? That don't make sense. This one had people split, but I liked it. This was also super nostalgic for me. Okay, yeah, I was like, that'd be weird if he was just doing a feature now in 2021.
It's just the way it is. How did I find myself to be so pitiful and vulnerable? And I lay my
What are your takes on this song? It had people split.
I'm alone. I'm miserable. It's just the way that it is, and it's hopeless now.
This has some energy from what we heard on Anticure. Alright, Diego spitting facts.
Is that your voice that I hear? Is that the touch that I had once feared? Is that the way that you look now? Is
Dude, the lyrics have been insane for this album.
cynical me beckoning become
They're sad.
an illusion that I dream of in a
I haven't said this as much recently, but I do still think that the best music comes from the darkest places. And Phil, he's really been through it. So of course he's making banger music. You also gotta consider,
Is there hope?
you got a fuck ton of other musicians in this band. And I don't know about the other guys in Whitechapel, but I know Rudy has struggled with depression a bit. He's also an insanely good drummer. I don't know what it is. Something about suffering really just like the people who are able to manage it. I mean, not everyone's able to manage it. But, like, some people feel like have a really struggle in life with mental illness and trauma. They're some of the most driven people out there, and it's very strange. In the face of all that adversity, they persevere. But I guess what's the alternative?
Forget my voice, forget my eyes. My heart is content now. To betray my
Dude, oh, that hits so hard. I love that. Maybe, but there's also an element of survivorship bias where you're only gonna see like the people who like struggle with mental illness and succeed are the people who often are able to present their voice and present their like context versus the people who struggle with mental illness and trauma and aren't able to push through that. Like, think about like the percentages. You're always going to see the people who succeed more than the people who are like struggling with it. So I do think like I don't know, maybe that does contribute to stigma in some way when you see like the people who are able to cope with trauma, at least in the moment. It almost makes it seem easier than it actually is. But then even the people who are able to make it through, they like talk about how much it still affects them. Like Chester Bennington's super successful, and he never like was able to really deal with it. But that's the thing. Mental illness is like something you live with that never, it won't get better, but it can be more manageable, and you can learn to manage it. Which I think is the interesting thing. Like if you live with depression, that's kind of like that's something you live with for life, but you learn how to manage it, but it doesn't mean that it goes away. I just have like this resting headbanging thing I do that's just like not in time with the song at all. Because I have no drum beat to go off of. Maybe I just have weak ass neck muscles. I'm like a fucking newborn baby, just like a newborn baby in cars be like. Gotta support those heads. I'm dizzy now. Okay, now I'm in time. What? No. Oh. What? Okay. Yes, yes, and yes. That was a fun intro into this. That threw me off. And then he just goes, beautiful singing voice. Oh, dude. They're really challenging, like, just sort of, like, what is heavy? Dwayne the Cock Johnson. It's about drive, it's about power. That ambience though. There's some really slow, simple strumming of chords. Another reason why I think Whitechapel is a band to show people who may not be into metal is because his gutturals aren't as harsh as some other people's. Like, it's still human. It's borderline. But they're very like they're very nice vocals. They're very nice gutturals. These of course are beautiful. Dude, I feel like he set it back 20 years. He had good flow. Damn, dude. Remember how determined the intro was, and here we are in this moment? Bow to the ancient gods. Yeah, it's not a happy story. So open with determination, now it's kind of yearning. I feel like they should. No one else is doing it. It's iconically them. They're obviously very good at it. And people fucking love it. Like, I'm a big fan. It's a great direction. I really hope they do. Because doing anything else, I think, would be going backwards. Like, imagine if they just went back to the stuff they were doing before, like it's already out there. There's all the, like, Whitechapel knockoffs who've done it. Like, Whitechapel, they continue to set themselves just apart from their peers. It's really impressive.
Remember when we used to be.
Bro, that opening, like, Where? Had so much testosterone, man.
And the late night sitting by the fire. We'd fall asleep knowing we would wake up by each other's side. We never had the
This is a little more reminiscent now.
time. Remember the sound of the voice that would call our name.
Dude, we got a fucking piano.
Comfort fell upon our heart. Now the voice fades in the distance. A life changed in an instant. And I can't look at you because it's tearing
Yeah, man, I got nothing.
me apart.
The use of harmonics here are also really nice, just throughout the album.
You want us to be together, and I know it's hard to accept forever. Our delusion.
Wait, this is really sad. This is really sad.
But it's time for both of us to let this go. I didn't mean to hold you back from moving on.
This is from the perspective of his parents?
I understand that we can't keep going on like this.
Or his perceived perspective of his
Can I
parents?
just have one last moment?
I don't know why I had to clarify
say
that.
goodbye? I need to feel them again.
Well, one of the lines was,
Last time.
I didn't mean to hold you from moving on. And he's, like, struggled with moving on from, like, the passing of his parents, like, as anyone would.
You want us to be together.
Girth Brooks, thank you for following during this very sad moment and making me say girth.
Hard to accept forever. Our delusion is the easy
In a way, this is a happy ending. Because it's ending with acceptance.
for both of us to let this go.
Yeah, almost like a new beginning. Yeah, so I'm getting like sad but hopeful vibes for this. too. Just Chef's Kiss. Just love it. Yeah, 100%. It's a new beginning. Icy's moving on, but it's still sad because he's gonna hold that sadness with him, of course. Like, it's not like you're just like moving on from this point, like my parents died, huzzah! Like, it's still just as sad, but it's coming to terms with it. That's important. Yeah, this is a very dynamic album, and honestly, I think it's better than The Valley, which is tough. That's a tough task to do. They really outdid themselves. While continuing thematically from The Valley, I do like that little fun fact of how the first song, I Will Find You, is the beginning of that is the end of the last album. It's very innovative songwriting. Damn, bro, that's the album? Crazy. 11 songs? I was like, oh, this is gonna be short. I mean, like 45 minutes. Pretty short. That's crazy. But yeah, 11 songs. One of them, like, Without You, is an interlude. So, like, more like 10 songs. And it just felt like such an experience in just such a short amount of time. I wonder, this is what I think, like, just because of these last two album cycles with The Valley and Kin, and I only say that those ones really delve into, like, Phil's feelings, because that's kind of, like, the time I got into them, and I got really invested in the lyrics. It's easier to hear the lyrics than their older stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe he actually did, like, delve into these issues with his, with the older Whitechapel material. But for these, I wonder how therapeutic this has been for Phil. Like, if he's, like, through writing these albums, if he feels like he's in a better place. But alas, I am not Nick Nocturnal. I cannot ask him these questions. But yeah, it's curious. I'd imagine they must be very therapeutic. It's like him really just, like, spilling himself out on the album, on the CD. I don't know. It's not paper. I don't know. It kind of gives you, like, a look into to Phil as a person, which is interesting. That's the interesting thing about music. It's really... The vocalists are, like, the most vulnerable. 100% the most vulnerable. You can't really drum about your trauma and have people be like, oh, yes, the way he's hitting those kicks, I can tell that his parents abandoned him from a young age. Like, you can't get that. So it's almost like it literally is, like, the vocalist is in the most vulnerable position out of any other band member. And, I don't know, sometimes you have other band members who, like, help the writing process, but it's never like the lyrics aren't like immediately attributed to the guitarist. Like, you have to, that's like a fun fact. It's like, oh yes, these lyrics are also written by this guitarist, and you're like, oh wow, that's really neat. It's kind of always attributed to the vocalist, but interestingly enough, by having this authenticity, it really does sort of help the impact of the music. It feels like this is like so dynamic. This really stands out. Like Whitechapel, of course, old Whitechapel was good, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, it was just another one of the classic deathcore outfits. There were others at the time. It's kind of like how Chelsea Grin was around at the time. Carnifex. They're one of many in the old days. And now they're just one. They're the only one making music that sounds like this. And it's really cool. I really do appreciate what they're doing. I do think this was a good sequel to The Valley. In fact, I'd say better. I think it's better than The Valley. The Valley had, of course, some bangers. But this was just such a dynamic album with all sorts of influences you just can't deny. You can't deny that this is probably them at their best. And hopefully not for long. Wondering what we'll see, in the future from them, and what future music, what themes future music from them is going to deal with. But I do like this. It's just such a good direction. No one else is doing it, and I think they're going to keep slaying.